Alrighty. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, classic, non-classic. This episode number 29, 25, and double number 28, 19. Basically, we're here discussing DC Comic Showcase presents DC Comic presents Superman team-ups, which these issues I'm going to skip over roughly about 4 issues, and I'll discuss a backup feature not collected in this book. The book collect the first 26 issues and skip over 4, 17, 16, 17, and 24. And 26 also has an insert story in there, which the insert story serves as a backdoor pilot to New Teen Titans. Yep. I'm also discussing basically Action Comics 241 257. Mostly discuss the B and C stories in the book. So, the first 3 issues of DC Comics Presents, which is basically Superman's team-up series. In a way, this was Superman's third title that wasn't World's Finest. Yeah. In the first 3 issues, he teams up with the Flash. Flash, savior of the universe. Yeah, I had to get out of the way. Yeah, actually, the first 2 issues of the Flash was that was by Martin Brazisco and arc by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. It's a quick 2-parter, basically involving him dealing with time travel and dealing with the Reverse Flash. Excellent stuff here for the first 2 issues, which does lead into issue number 3. Issue 2, now by Reverse Flash, they team up with the camera to lead the superheroes, extrovert them too. Issue 3, they team with Adam Strange. Yes, Adam Strange is in basically issue 3. Yep. Because, of course, basically, Superman goes to the planet Rann. And the villain of this issue is Kelstor, who is no enemy of Adam Strange. Who didn't barely appear very much at all. And this issue was written by Damon Galiti and Jack Harris. Same artist. Skip issue 4 because that was actually like in a trade paperback. Which one, you might ask? That was collected in Superman Back in Action. So, that's skip over that one. In issue number 5, he teams with Aquaman. The books by the late Louis and Paul Level with Murphy Anderson in the artwork. These 2 team also with Laurie Lamontis in this issue, take on Ocean Master. Thinking, that sounds interesting. Issue 3 teams up with Hal Jordan. The book is written by Paul Levitz, arc by the late Kurt Swan. And taking the Weaponers of Kord. Interesting. And also take on Star Sapphire, who is Carol Ferris. Yep. 7 skipping over this one because actually, let's see. I don't think of this one. This is also done by Paul Levitz, by Dick Dillon. It's Superman team with Red Tornado. Yes. The deal with Weaponers of Kord. In issue number 8, this is kind of an interesting one where basically Superman has to deal with Swamp Thing and Solomon Grundy in the same issue. Yeah, and we have also the origin story of Swamp Thing. This is by Steve Eckhart, which I find that to be interesting because normally if you think of Swamp Thing story, if it's not run by Alan Moore this period of time, it's probably going to be Lean Ween. But nope, it's Steve Eckhart. Okay, interesting. And then you have Superman team with Wonder Woman taking on some ice creature. And we have Mark Bezos back on the art writing here with Joe Steen in the artwork. In issue number 10, he goes back to World War II, team up with Sergeant Rock and the Easy Company to take on basically the Nazis. Which, so cool. And Carrie Bates does the writing for this issue, which was awesome. And it leads into issue 11, where teams up with Hawkman. Same creative team. Basically, it's them taking on the guy called Frank Relis. who only appears basically like he's basically like a minor villain from this period of time. In issue 12, teams with Mr. Miracle with Steve Eckelhart in the writing and Rich Buckler in the artwork. Steve Eckelhart was actually, I think he was writing Mr. Miracle this period of time. To take on Intergang because they're associated with Apocalypse 2. Yeah, because they got their weapons from Apocalypse. In issue number 13, team with a Legion of Superheroes. Take out some alien species. And this feels like basically just a quick guess. And yes, Paul Levitt is writing for this book because if you notice, from the 70s, 80s, it's usually either basically these primary writers are for the Legion of Superheroes. Jerry Conway briefly, Paul Levitt wrote a lot of this book period of time, even Keith Giffen. I even sent a tweet to Jamin Matias on Twitter when the Legion guest starred in their final issue for Booster Gold Volume 2. What was it Keith's idea to have them guest star? James says, yes, it was. It was definitely his idea. And then we have issue 14, we have Superman team with Superboy. Except it's basically just him traveling to past meeting himself, which is not the first time. Paul Levitt is on the writing duties of this book, and Dick Dillon's in the artwork. In issue number 15, for Skipper 16, 15 is with Ray Palmer to take on these group of aliens known as the Sermons. Now, Skipper 16 17 because 16 teams of Black Lightning, which I was in the Black Lightning trade. 17 was, I think, was some other trade. So, skipping straight to issue number 18, where, of course, teams up with Zatanna in her early 80s attire. And this book is written by Jerry Conway, with Dick Dillon in the artwork, to take on Congo the Great. And also her father guest as an issue. Yeah, her early 80s, late 70s, early 80s garb, it's like, yeah, let's get rid of her basically iconic attire in the late 70s, which was this other outfit. Issue 19 with Batgirl, and this book issue was written by the late Denny O'Neil. And of course, basically, this is a period of time where Batgirl was a congresswoman. Yep, before her retirement. In issue 20, teams with Green Air and also written by Danny O'Neil. This time also with Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. And they, of course, have a little fun here. I love the teams they have here. It's so interesting. In issue number 21, teams with the elongated man, Jerry Conway's back on the writing duties. My only guess is because he's writing just like the period of time, so why not? In issue number 22, teams with Captain Comet. They got a guy called Star Trigger. Somebody probably raise your hand and say, excuse me, Nick, who the heck is Captain Comet? 50 superhero who decided to join the Legion of Supervillains because they thought they were heroes. Yes, they fooled them thinking they were heroes. And he was part of the group for a brief period of time. He even got some sold books published period of time too, which is interesting. Yeah, in case you're curious though, what was the comic made his debut in? Strange Adventures. And he was created by Joy Shorts, John Broome, and Carmen Fantino. Thinking, John Broome, that name sounds very familiar. Didn't he create another famous character for DC Comics? Yes, he created Barry Allen. And by the way, this book was written by Mike W. Barr, who I think at this period of time would no longer have this write The Outsiders. In issue number 23, teams up with Dr. Fate. And once again, we have Danny O'Neil on the artwork. It's one of those team-ups between Earth 1 and Earth 2. This time not in the Justice League book, which I found that to be a really cool idea. Doing a book not Justice League. Hey, you don't have to have all the team-ups happen in the pages of Justice League. You have other books too. I mean, it's also happened with, of course, All Star with the Flash. Green Lantern's in this too, along with the Atom. Surprisingly, never did this with Hawkman. Don't know why. And 24, written by the late Lean Ween, art by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, who actually would do a pin-up in a Swamp Thing Winter Special. And 24 would be basically of course, I should skip over 24 because I think I discussed this already. Oh yeah, there's also collected back in action. So, moving to 25. 25 begins they have this Becca feature, whatever happened to this character. In the opening story, you have Superman teaming up with the Phantom Stranger. This is from Paul Lewis, Dick Dillon. And they take on Talia, one of his old bad guys from the book. And then we have back a feature of Whatever Happened to Our Man? And this is written by Bob Riskins, art by Charles Nicholas. Which, a little fun fact comes to that name. That's been commonly used as a pen name. As a guy. This name is also for credit for creating the Dan Garrett Blue Beetle. Where except that Charles Nicholas, there were 3 of them. And the rumor has that one of them was Jack the King Kirby. So, it's a possibility that Jack Kirby created Dan Garrett, but the credit for that was very confusing. And finally, issue number 26, where the opening story teams up with Hal Jordan Green Lantern, with writing news by Jim Starlin and Marv Wolfman. Jim Starlin does the artwork here too, which this is what he does best, the cosmic stuff. Taking one of an evil alien here, which really cool stuff here. And the backup story is Whatever Happened to Sturgon the Sorcerer? Who's Sturgon the Sorcerer? Old character. He's a supernatural character who still makes occasional appearances over the years. This one actually died in Swamp Thing 50, which is the same issue that Zadara died. He first appeared in All My Comics 26. He was also part of the All-Star Squadron. Now there's also another Sturgon Sorcerer, who was his grandson. Yeah, he first appeared in Helmet Fate, Sturgon the Sorcerer, and later died in Rain and Hell. He also had a cousin named Grace Brady. Who only appeared just a few times. It was basically the niece, the original one. Yeah, it's basically him taking on an old Hawkman villain named Matter Master. Yes, like someone stole his ruby and he has to go get it back. It's basically like whatever happened to this character. In the case of Iron Man, he was still occasionally appearing, but Sturgon, he was not really big of a character, but great issues. Love them. Give a 10 out of 10 for them. Next up, moving on to Action Comics. Now, the stories discussing here, kind of, is stories for Congo Bill, also known as Congorilla, and Tommy Tomorrow. Tommy Tomorrow basically is here from 241 to about 250. I think it was 251 when his feature was dropped. No, he continued 251. Yeah, 251 basically was last feature. Mostly put for Tommy Tomorrow stories, it's basically him doing his planetary adventures, battling our aliens. It's not nothing bad per se. Congorilla basically is him, Adventures in the Jungle. There's one story, he's actually an outlaw. First it was like jungle stuff, and then occasionally he transformed into Congorilla, and at one point he's stuck as Congorilla. Congorilla is his golden ape. That's a form he summons, and his real name is Congo Bill. Yes, it's just a nickname for him. And issue 51 starts a feature of him going from the law. Yeah, in case you're curious though, the Congorilla feature for this book started issue 220. Actually, the regular feature started with 248. He made his debut in 248. That's kind of basically where the feature started with. Though he did make occasional, he did also make a guest appearance in. He also appeared, I think it was the probably different version character, but yeah, it's just jungle stuff here. I don't think any of this stuff is racist per se. It's just that my guess is they probably just don't want to reprint it because maybe some sensibilities published in the book a period of time. I'm not really sure. I'm just spitballing here when it comes to that. But yeah, not much else to say about these books here. Oh, and by 252, basically it's all Conqueror at this point in time. Yep. But yeah, that's pretty much it, particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and do not hit the like button. Well, next up basically is going to be, Chain Soldier, and then one more Comic Corner, and then basically just a few more anime, and that'll be it for tonight, okay? Next video. Bye.